Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. I'm your host, Sara Jones. For this episode, I spent some time with a very funny guy named Kyle Ploof. Kyle Ploof is one of the hardest working comedians in the country. Jumping into the Boston scene, Kyle quickly gained attention and was crowned Best New Comic by winning 2007's Last Comic Laughing Contest, as well as 104.1 WBCN and Going.com's Boston's Best Stand-Up Contest. By age 19, Kyle was a regular at all of the clubs in and around Boston. Since then, he has gone on to be featured in the original Las Vegas Comedy Festival, Bumbershoot Music and Arts Festival, and the New York Comedy Expo. His work in television includes appearances on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on HBO, The Steve Harvey Show, and MTV's Best Music Moments, as well as writing and producing the comedy game show Funny You Should Ask. Now living in Los Angeles, you can see Kyle performing at several venues across the city. Kyle and I visited a haunted park in Long Beach known as DeForest Park. If you'd like, be sure to follow our Instagram with the handle @LitDarkPodcast. That's at LITDARK Podcast for pictures that go along with this episode. Here's the episode. I hope you enjoy it. Who are those guys? There's these guys that are on the kids' playground. I think that's a drug deal.
Yeah, we're both wearing microphones. We look like cops right now.
No, I mean you can't tell we're wearing.
What are you doing?
Excuse me, do you have a permit? Hi, excuse me, what's your name?
It's just two white people in the woods asking people what they're doing out here.
Hi, we're from the Park Commission. Can we interest you in? Okay, great. So we're at DeForest Park in Long Beach, California. It's sprinkling a little bit, so for me, I don't feel like I'm on vacation in California. No. I kind of feel like I'm back home.
It's a bit ominous right now.
It's very ominous, which is what we're kind of going for. So DeForest Park is a park in Long Beach, California. It expands over 15 acres. There's plenty of playground equipment. Actually, we're looking at it right now, and there are grown men jumping. There's 4 men in there.
Yeah, just living life.
Just living. Great. And there's areas to play varying sports, as well as a nature trail that you can hike here. The hiking trail runs along the LA River. While it's not a terribly scenic hike, it is rumored to be terribly haunted.
Oh boy.
Various hikers in this spot have reported the sound of a woman's voice, an inexplicable drop in temperature, classic, and strange mists that seem to come from nowhere. One account describes an eerie fog with a peculiar bright light shining through the middle of the fog.
That's just weed smoke.
Yeah, it's probably. There's some explanations for a lot of these.
And the police with their flashlight.
Us with their flashlight.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
What are you doing?
What are we doing over here? Gentlemen? According to local legend, there's a host of spirits that reside in this park. A very common feeling for many visiting DeForest Park is that of someone following them. Others report sudden gusts of cold air, the sound of disembodied voices being carried by the wind, and a prickly feeling on the back of your neck.
Well, let's hope that's not a syringe. that you're rolling around in a sandbox and there's a friggin' needle in your neck.
Why would you be rolling around
prickly
the sandbox?
feeling. I got hepatitis now.
All I was doing was rolling around in the sandbox and the weirdest thing happened.
And there was a sudden drop in temperature because this hepatitis needle just hit me in the neck.
We're being approached.
Yep.
Act natural.
In trouble now. Oh, there's a cloud of smoke. But I do know where it's coming from.
Is the light shining through it?
Yeah, the burning of the end of the joint.
Okay. There have even been reports of shadowy apparitions appearing among the trees.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh, there's a guy riding a bike up there with lights all over the wheels.
That's a festive bike.
That's how you can see.
Actually, I'm from Portland. I've seen a lot of bikes.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of. All right. Paranormal investigators that have visited this park claim to have caught numerous EVPs here. You know what an EVP is, right?
Well, I know that there's like a meter, but I don't know exactly like what it's registering.
So, okay.
Here we go.
No, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, just keeping my audience in mind.
Sure.
Because I think a lot of the tools to detect ghosts are bullshit.
Ooh, hot take on the Paranormal Podcast. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think, well, because it's like, you don't even know what you're measuring, so how can you purport to be measuring something? You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with that.
So, I don't know. But EVP is electronic voice phenomena. So what it is it's like catching something on a recording that you didn't hear before or something. And that, I've actually caught something on a recording before.
My dad used to do that all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your dad was a ghost hunter?
Yes, so he actually...
Shit, did I just offend you?
If you Google James Ploof, you'll be able to find some like pictures that he put up. And it's just like, he'd go to the graveyard by himself and then like go with a voice recorder and be like, hello? Is anybody here? And he'd be able to say, like, you hear that? You hear that? Someone said, get out of here. I'm like, yeah, that's you.
Yeah, I mean, because like some of the ghost shows that I've seen, I don't like how they'll just be like, they'll replay the same thing over and over again, and it sounds like someone just took like a wrapper and like crinkled it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, get out. It has like they like put in the closed captioning at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's just like, she died here. And you're like, that's not what it says. Like, I don't hear anything. Wait, your dad's a ghost hunter? I had no idea.
And he would take pictures, and this was like back in the AOL days. He would go on and scan these pictures in and put them up on websites where it'd be a gravestone and then like a bunch of smoke around it. And he's a chain smoker. So I'm like, yeah, you're just literally blowing smoke at someone's gravesite.
Like,
it's very disrespectful.
Oh shit, what the fuck? What's this?
But it would be all over message boards and people would freak out being like, oh my God,
Look at all that smoke.
That's ghosts for real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's just Marlboro Red smoke coming out of my dad's mouth, I think, but.
Yeah, but like, who knows? Sorry, I did check my levels too.
Sure.
I did not know how perfect you were for this podcast.
Yeah.
Like, that's really exciting.
I've always been a doubter because of my dad.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's interesting to go out. I'm glad we're in a park because parks are one of the few places that actually really do freak me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the woods really freaks me out. I'm a city kid, so like just going into
me
any
too,
place
but-
where you're just not in control.
Yeah.
You're at the mercy of whatever's in there. So like
Usually homeless people.
yes, homeless people.
Yeah.
If we were up north in the valley, I'd be freaked out about like cougars and rattlesnakes and stuff. But since we're in Long Beach, we don't have any of that stuff, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
Cool.
But yeah, there's probably some needles hanging around that we'll step on later.
Great. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Maybe we can become ghosts.
Yes, perfect.
I think that's what I'm worried about.
That's the conclusion. Yeah, I'm thinking once I get done telling the story, we should try to find that hiking trail because that's like the haunted place, especially because you just made the mistake of telling me that that's what scares the shit out of you.
Well, I thought we were safe here.
Like, I'm a city boy. I really fear hiking. If I have to go on a walk and scuff my shoes, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah.
Is that a fucking tree?
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
Disembodied voices.
Oh, it's also said that some have experienced electrical problems such as battery depletion, camera failure, or a voice recorder disruption.
I'm going to show you. I've never had my battery this low ever. And I was driving here and I was like, God damn it. I'm at 50%, not even.
My battery's pretty low too, but I have a charger in my car.
Oh, well,
Don't worry.
It might not even work anymore because our phones are going to blow up because the ghosts don't want us to have technology.
What the fuck? No, I even put this in here. I said every time I read that in my research, it terrifies me because that would really fuck things up for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully we don't deal with anything more than maybe catching a ghost voice on the recordings, which would be dope.
Yeah.
Just like your dad.
Sure.
Some believe in more than just your average ghost kids playing in the park, but that an actual paranormal creature lurks in the darkness of this park at night.
Possible child molester.
No, it's like a creature, and it goes into descriptions, like it describes what this creature is like.
Oh,
it's like a humanoid creature. No, it's a humanoid.
Oh, boy.
No, it sounds so fucking scary. I can't wait to tell you about it. It's said that this park is one of the most haunted places in Long Beach, second only to the Queen Mary.
Oh, damn.
A local man who works as an online medium, sounds like your daddy, and goes by Robert B., described seeing a strange figure in this park multiple times, which he first describes only as it. This is the humanoid creature.
Oh, boy.
In his words, he explains, "I say it, but what I really think is that it was a she. And she is a ghoul of some sort. Perhaps a crossover between a ghost and some sort of damn zombie."
Oh my God. Well, it's going to be really rude when we find out it's a he today.
And we're going to get into gender later on in this podcast. It is 2019.
Yeah.
So this was taken from a blog written for backpackverse.com. And the writer claims that they had heard similar stories about the park before. The quote goes on to say, "It looked like all of her skin had sloughed off her face." Robert described, he said her skin sagged down so that it partially covered her eyeballs, and that the skin of her fingers seemed to stretch over the bones, like she was wearing a pair of surgical gloves, only it was her skin.
What the hell is going on?
That's scary.
Yeah.
Robert says that she wears filthy rags for clothing and that she walks through the trees in this park with a sideways gait, as though her entire lower half of her body had somehow been ratcheted sideways by something. So it's like torso one way, legs the other way. She walks in like sideways.
Oh, God.
Isn't that so scary?
That would be the scariest shit ever.
I know. I said, Robert B. sure paints a vivid picture of this ghoulish, zombie-like ghost girl that he claims to have witnessed on numerous occasions in this park. The first time he claims to have seen her and feels as though she didn't see him. And the second, he says that she chased him halfway through the park.
Do you know how scary that would be if you're running full speed away from something and it's running right next to you but staring at you the whole time?
And
oh my
its
God.
skin is just bunched up and it's,
good God.
Its little sideways run. While Robert's account of this creepy girl seems to be the most vivid I can find, his is certainly not the only report of hers I came across in my research, which to me lends a little bit of credibility to the story.
Oh, good God.
While reading a Yelp review of the park, one reviewer named Gina cautioned parents that sometimes this park is used for gay orgies.
Oh, even more terrifying.
Not something I expected, but for the non-believers, this may explain why some people have heard distant voices and moaning sounds that they may have attributed to ghosts. Spooky and sexy.
Hell yeah.
A few Reddit users have described their own personal paranormal experiences at this park. One member says that he came here with a group of friends who wanted to see some ghost shit. Perfect. He said that he hadn't really expected to see anything, but he came along anyway. While they were exploring the park, he heard the sound of a girl's loud, blood-curdling scream. He said it made him jump, and he asked the others in the group if they had heard it, and all of them looked blankly at him and truly seemed as though they hadn't heard a thing. Another user said that he came to the park and heard someone calling his name over and over from seemingly the middle of nowhere. He says nobody believes him when he tells his story. Still another talks about the mysterious, ghoulish zombie girl and elaborates on the strange sideways gait that Robert describes, going further to say that she in fact runs at you like a crab sideways.
Oh, God.
I don't get it, like a crab.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like the cadence of it, like a like.
Maybe, or like her legs are like low and wide and fucking bow-legged.
Yes. And but it said sideways though, same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe because crabs can walk sideways. Maybe that's what it means.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
What's interesting to me about this park is that most haunted places have some kind of history or backstory to describe why they're haunted. DeForest Park, as far as I can tell, doesn't seem to have that. I can't find any particularly heinous murder or crime that took place here. No stories of bones being buried here. I did find a story of a killer who left body parts of his victims at a nearby park, but it wasn't in DeForest Park. So why is this park haunted? Why is it so haunted that it's considered second only to a popular haunted ghost ship in the area?
Right.
It's hard for me to say. I guess it's considered to be terribly haunted due to how many people have experienced what they describe to be paranormal here. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Maybe it's just that simple. But I still wonder about that ghoulish zombie girl. Is she just local legend? A terrifying tale that's been passed on at campfires and sleepovers? Or is there any truth to it? I don't know.
How does she identify is what I want to know.
Is she a girl?
Is she a man?
Does she feel
How does she feel?
like a girl?
Yeah.
Does she feel like a crab?
Does she feel like a half humanoid zombie? I don't know.
Does she feel like yeah, maybe she thinks our skin is stretched a little too much.
Yeah.
She's like,
tight
all
skin
of them have the
motherfuckers.
tight skin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said, while the stories here seem to leave more questions than answers, one thing is for sure, there have been many unexplained and downright terrifying stories to come from these woods.
Oh boy. Hopefully not tonight.
Hopefully tonight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was thinking about why I'm so scared of the woods, and I think aside from being a city guy, my dad moved out to the suburbs when I was probably 11 or so. He bought a house in Weymouth, Massachusetts, which is like 15 miles outside of Boston.
Okay.
And he had a bunch of woods in the back, and we were just like going through the woods in his backyard and found like this little shack. And we were like, yeah, let's get on the roof of the shack or whatever. And we got on top, and then this old, scary, most terrifying looking old elderly woman ever started screaming, "Get off my roof!" And she made us get down, and she dragged us back by our friggin' arms all the way back to the house.
I thought you were gonna say by your legs.
No. She would not let us go, and
You and your dad?
Brought us all the way back to my dad, and
you and your brother?
Yeah, me and my brother.
Oh, I thought it was your dad. Yeah. I was like,
Dad's like, I'm scared. And I'm like, I'm scared.
I was like, your dad couldn't reason with her?
No, not at all. This 6'2" tall man. No, and she would leave notes on his car like all the time after that, saying like, I want your kids' Christmas presents and stuff. Like, just very, very scary. So I think
I want their Christmas presents?
Yeah. She would say like, give me their Christmas presents for like trespassing in my house. Terrifying. Her name was Tilly.
Oh my God, Tilly.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like a real house. It was literally like
a shack.
A shack that someone built back there. And my dad was just like, I guess we'll let her live there. I don't know. And so she lived there until she died.
It was on your property though?
It was like I don't know if the land surveyor would consider it my dad's property, but it was in the woods behind my dad's place. And it was like super close. You just couldn't see it through the first,
that
level of woods. You'd have to go in like 30 feet.
What am I thinking of? Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Exactly.
A Grimm's fairy tale.
Yeah.
Give me their
this
Christmas
witch in the woods. Yeah. Give me your Christmas
old were
presents.
you?
I was probably like 10 or 11, somewhere around there.
So like think about what your Christmas presents would have been that she like squamed.
Oh yeah, she wanted like Power Rangers and shit.
Yeah. She would have been like, good. So I want these. Like,
this is what I've been missing.
Yeah.
Besides a house.
And just shoving them in her little shack.
Oh my God. Yeah, no,
That's
terrifying.
so weird.
So I think I don't know, subconsciously I'm always nervous that there's
Tilly might be back there.
Yeah, Tilly's out there, and that's probably who's running half sideways around here.
Oh God.
Terrifying people, because when you were describing her, I was like, ooh, that sounds like Tilly.
That sounds like Tilly.
Tilly must
like
have
her.
fell down the stairs or something, and that's why her legs are sideways.
How scared would you have been if I was like, I found in my sources her name was Tilly?
Oh my God.
That'd be crazy. Oh my God, that's really scary.
Terrifying. Very terrifying. So yeah, the
But she
woods
just
is like a
lived
no-go for
alone.
me. Yeah. And she ended up dying
In the shack?
In the shack, like probably, I don't know, 15 years later.
Oh my God.
And then they
Who
just
found her?
bulldozed the thing. I don't even know. I don't know.
Like someone was like, it smells like shit back here.
Yeah.
It's just Tilly.
Oh, there's just a dead woman in a shack back here.
Can
That's
you
weird.
imagine finding that?
Yeah.
How scary would that be? Do you think Tilly haunts those woods?
Yeah. Definitely.
She did in life.
Yeah. Oh,
she
man.
does what she loved to do in life.
Yeah, terrorize people.
Give me your Christmas presents.
I'm gonna take your Christmas presents.
Oh my God, she could be like a legend of that. What is that? Outside of Boston?
Weymouth, yeah.
Yeah. That could be like a local legend of
The
Tilly.
legend of Tilly.
Stealing your Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then like parents that weren't able to afford Christmas presents that year would be like, oh no, Tilly got them.
Yeah. You were a bad kid. Tilly took your presents.
Yeah, exactly. Better be good so Tilly doesn't take your presents.
Oh my God.
It's
Tilly
like the
took 'em.
Krampus. Tilly, the Krampus of Boston.
Oh my goodness. I think we have something.
I think we have something.
We're selling it.
We're on to something here. Holy shit. That sounds horrifying. All right, let's go find this ghost girl.
I think I'm good.
No?
No, I'm just kidding.
Like, I gotta get going.
Yeah. You can go hang out with Tilly. I'm gonna get in my car.
It's like in a game show, we're like, and actually we're gonna bring out Tilly. Tilly, come on out here.
No, Tilly, no.
You old ghoul.
Holy shit.
Oh man, I can't imagine her like grabbing you by the arms too.
Oh my God. And I was like trying with all my might to get away, and she was so strong. Well, like just way stronger than me.
Yeah. Angst can really, where are we going?
I don't know. Looks like there's someone across, or there was someone a second ago.
Oh, what?
Across, I swear to God, there was someone all the way down there, and now
Did
they're
you just
gone.
see someone and they disappeared?
Yeah.
Sideways?
I don't know about sideways, unless they're right behind this tree right now.
Ew. What if she just popped right out from the back of the tree?
God.
What
That's
kind of noises
like
do you think she makes? Sounds like a pterodactyl.
Yes.
So for listeners, we're walking around the park and it's kind of dark, very wet.
There's like a window glowing in the distance. Oh shit.
Did you think that was Tilly?
Yes.
She
And
just
that's
swoops down.
exactly what it looked like, was like a glowing window, like at night when after I knew where the shack was.
Oh, from
you
that
could
house
see
back
it.
there?
That one right there, like directly
Oh,
in
that
front.
one, yeah.
It's like the orange light.
Was there a window to the shack?
Yes.
Oh.
In the front.
So it was more than just a shack. Did it have a little kitchen or anything?
I don't think so.
Weird.
It was like
It wasn't like
plywood on the outside.
Insulated? Yeah.
I
No
don't
wonder
know who
she
built
died
it.
in there. I guess that's
Oh, she
not
definitely
shocking.
did.
Surprising that she lived there for 15 years. And it's Boston, so
Probably
it's
longer.
fucking cold.
Yeah, freezing.
So, and it wasn't heated?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, she was
I never went
definitely
inside. We weren't allowed.
a mythical creature. She was not like a real person.
Not of this world.
Oh my fucking God, are those gravestones?
I hope not.
Don't these look like gravestones?
They do.
Oh, I guess this is just cement. That one though, there's like this deliberately placed rock
Looks like granite or
right
something.
under a tree. Yeah, it's like granite. That has probably got to be a gravestone right there.
I would think so.
Why would it be right under this tree? I'm gonna take a picture for the Instagram.
Oh, snap.
This is the kind of stuff that I was like, I can't figure out why they say this place is like super, super haunted. But if someone's buried here, I guess that makes a little more sense.
That's crazy that they said that there's been nobody killed here.
Or I didn't find a story about someone
gotcha.
being killed here.
Sure. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I mean,
you probably always
it'd be
have
the
your
only place in
Tillies
Long
that
Beach.
just die randomly.
Should be like the only square footage in Long Beach where someone wasn't killed.
Is there
was
like
the
a high
case.
murder rate here or something?
Snoop Dogg talked about Long Beach in every song he's ever ever made.
I don't listen to a whole lot of Snoop Dogg, but I respect him.
So
basically
much drama
we're
in the
just,
LBC.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all right, I get it. LBC, I just never really put together what that meant because I'm from Michigan. But you're from Massachusetts, so I guess
Yep.
that's not a good enough excuse.
We've got some rocks.
Got some rock. I mean, at this point, we're probably just looking for a homeless person sleeping
Yeah.
more than anything.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, hey, it's fine.
Are you a ghost?
Are you dead? He's like, am I? Shit.
Some would say that.
Oh my God. I thought for a second that this, like, pipe was, what are mummy caskets? You know?
Sarcophagus?
Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Like the caskets that you can see the outside of like an
in the mummy?
Egyptian tomb in it?
I think it's a sarcophagus.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was at first.
Yeah, we're right next to the LA River.
Yep. Oh, so
Which
then
I'm
this
sure
must be
bodies
where
got thrown into.
Absolutely. So then this must be where the hiking trail is that it was
Yeah, that's the trail
about.
right there.
Oh. Tell me more about your dad.
Yeah, he was like a conspiracy theorist. Told me not to drink milk because 90% of it is made of glue.
Oh, that makes sense.
He would watch
So it
documentaries
glues your
about
bones
ghosts.
together.
So yeah, he would tell me not to drink it, but he drank it all day. So I don't understand
Oh, weird.
where the logic comes from.
No.
But yeah, he would
Do
just
as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
he would see
my dad used to
documentaries and then
say.
just believe everything they said like immediately.
Be like, brilliant. He would have loved Ancient Aliens. Is he no longer with us?
No, he's not.
Yeah, that's what I gathered from.
Yep.
Well, I was sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so he might come scare the fuck out of us because.
Well, my dad's dead too. Maybe they'll both convene.
Oh, the secret dead dad society is what we got going
I
on.
know. I've tried to contact my dead dad in other episodes where we actually used a Ouija board, and I was like, Dad, don't be a dick about this. And then I was like, yeah, I don't think he wants to play. There's a bunny.
Oh,
You want to know something kind of weird, though, actually?
what's that?
We were just talking about our dead dads coming and hanging out. Mm-hmm. The whole weekend of my dad's funeral, I saw rabbits everywhere.
Oh shit!
And now, right as I talked about it, there's a rabbit
one
right
going,
there.
running.
So, hey, maybe there's something to that.
My dad used to love scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah.
He would always, well, when I was 5 years old, he made me sit down and watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street with him.
I love Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, it's my favorite.
Me too.
Ever. Yeah, it's my favorite horror movie.
Me too.
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
No. Oh, is that?
Yeah, it's two of them.
Oh my goodness.
It's two of our dads.
It's both our dads. Dad! Oh my God, there's babies.
Oh, now
Look.
they're running. Oh,
Look
there's
at
a whole
the
bunch of them.
baby. Do you see the little baby ones?
I don't see the baby.
Right there on the
Oh, yep.
left. Look, it's a little guy. Hi. How cute.
Thumper. Yeah, so he made me watch it with him when I was 5, the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
The
Terrifying
best.
movie. And then at the end of the movie, he got up and left me in the room just to sit there while the credits were rolling. And then eventually the
Just
credits...
shell-shocked.
Yeah, the credits stopped playing and it was recorded on VHS, which he recorded over my sister's first birthday party to record it because he was like, it's Freddy Krueger on HBO.
Fuck it.
Screw it. She won't remember this one.
Right. And
And
neither will we now.
yeah, exactly. And so I was waiting for him. The tape stops playing. I'm just sitting there. The screen is completely black and the room is just pitch black. So I get up and I walk into his bedroom, which is where I saw him go into, and he wasn't in there. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Literally right after that, he jumped out of the closet dressed as Freddy Krueger.
Oh God.
Started chasing me around. And so,
And you were 5?
yeah.
So that means that's like one of your earliest memories?
Yeah, it's one of my first memories of this world. It's
Oh
just
my
not
God.
to trust anyone or anything.
Don't trust anyone. I can't believe you came on the show.
Yeah. And then he would tell people, and Kyle made me throw out the Freddy Krueger costume. And I'm like, dude, I was 5. You could have just hit it. You didn't have to actually
Right.
throw it out. But yeah,
You
I don't
fucking
ever want to
asshole.
see you wear that around me ever again.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Your dad sounds like he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Made me shit my pants all the time, so that was fun.
And that's the best.
Yeah, he would always walk up to where a door opening was and be like, hey, guys, be careful. I heard there's a murderer around here. And then it'd be reaching around his head and be like, oh my God.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So, always had a fear about my dad dying or killing me.
Well, and they got him first.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Dad. Take that. Tilly
Take
got
that,
you.
you big bastard. Yeah. Tilly got him.
Tilly got him.
Do you think when you die, Tilly is who would
Oh, if Tilly's waiting there for me with all my
guide
Christmas
you to
presents,
the-
I'm gonna be pissed.
with all your Christmas presents?
Yeah, and I'll be like, can I have my Christmas presents now? She'll be like, nah.
No, she'll have a collection of all the Christmas presents you could have had you stayed alive.
Ooh, boy.
Oh shit, now it's getting real.
Jeez. That would fuck with me.
That would focus me too.
I'd be like, what the hell is Tilly doing here? First of all, she was terrifying.
Yeah, because she was never actually a living entity. She was always of another realm.
Oh man, maybe she's God?
She's God.
We live by her rules now.
Give me your Christmas present.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Now there's a lot of darkness over here, which I don't particularly enjoy.
And yet, you're walking towards it.
Yeah, we gotta.
So, yeah, you're right, we gotta.
There's
That's what
a
we
path.
both signed up for. I started the show for this. Everything I see in the darkness is like possibly Tilly. I'm like, oh, no, what?
Well,
No.
could contribute to the legend of Tilly.
Yeah,
She caught a red eye over to the other side of the country.
yeah. Or maybe there's a Tilly in every town, just like.
Oh, don't even tell me that.
I actually can't believe you brought up Nightmare on Elm Street. Because did you notice on the way here we passed Elm Street, or did you not go that way?
I don't know if I went that way.
There's an Elm Street like 2 streets down, right
There's
there.
an Elm Street in every town. He says it in the movie.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought of that movie line.
Yep.
So for listeners that are not huge Nightmare on Elm Street nerds, that's like from Nightmare on Elm Street 4
Every town
or
has an Elm
something.
Street. Yep.
So we're at the very end, he says every town has an Elm Street. And I totally thought of that on the way here.
That's crazy.
And you brought that up, yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, so Freddy Krueger for me has always been like my number 1 favorite horror movie character.
Yes.
And
Me too.
when I was
actually.
17, a movie that I always been waiting for since friggin' Jason Goes to Hell, when Freddy's hand popped right up and brought his mask down to hell, I was like, oh shit, Freddy vs. Jason, it's happening.
I was just gonna say, yep, okay, how do you feel about the ending?
Well, I originally thought it was one of the best movies ever, and I still think, I watched it again recently and I was like,
Oh,
okay,
really?
yeah, all right.
I haven't seen it in like a decade.
So I saw it 3 times the first day it came out, because it came out on August 15th on my 17th birthday. So the first year I could actually go see a rated R movie by myself,
Yes.
it actually came out with like the movie I had always been waiting for.
Nice.
So yeah, I saw it 3 times and thought it was the best movie I'd ever seen, and just kept that in the back of my head.
I feel like, okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Freddy vs. Jason yet, but I remember watching it with my cousin Sean in Atlanta, and where he lived,
Yep.
and he was a Jason fan, I was a Freddy fan, and he would argue, well, no, Jason wins because Freddy's just like a hand at the end or something. And
Yeah.
I would argue, no, in so many Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Freddy's become all kinds of weird shit in dreams. Like
Absolutely.
he can just morph himself into anything. He's like a shapeshifter.
And you are the winner of that argument.
Thank you, I agree.
Because he controls reality, especially if you're sleeping, and
Yes.
we don't know at any given time if the people are awake or asleep.
Right.
So that could just be a nightmare where Jason thinks he wins, and
Oh,
then it cuts
yeah.
out before he actually finds out that he's in a nightmare.
Or wait, was it just a head? Was Freddy just a head at the
A
end?
head, yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, I don't even know if my cousin Sean remembers that argument we had, but it was heated. Like it was very much like, dude, all right, fine, let's drop it.
It was one of the best physical manifestations of Freddy too, because like the eyes and the mouth were so creepy, especially in that beginning shot when he's like looking directly into the camera, talking about like the whole situation with
Was
Jason.
that still Robert Englund in that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, the new, oh, there's another bunny.
Jackie Earl Haley.
Holy shit,
There's another
there's
right
a
there.
whole lot. There's one right there, right next to us.
Oh, 3 of them.
3 rabbits right around us. I mean, that's kind of
2
cool.
of them just disappeared.
That one, look at it, it's right next to us. Little cottontail guy. Thumpa. Did you see that new Nightmare on Elm Street where
Yeah.
the Freddy, I didn't even watch it. I was
You
too
didn't?
upset. No, because first of all, not to be insensitive, but I thought that the Freddy looked like he had Down syndrome.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
So what they did was like,
They tried to make him look like a real burn victim.
yeah, they took away what actually made Freddy scary, and I think I heard someone over there. That scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, they took away like all his facial expression and emotion.
Oh, there's another rabbit.
2 of them. 3.
3.
4. Holy shit.
Do we hear 5? That's weird. I've never seen this many rabbits in my life. Have you?
I don't think so.
I guess they say they multiply like rabbits, so there's got to be a whole shitload of them. There's
Oh.
5 right there. There's the
Yep.
5th one. Wow, they're so cute.
Till they all start charging at us.
They're jumping at us. Like, what the fuck?
Getting killed by these adorable creatures.
You're so cute. We're like still kind of petting them. They're like, that hurts, but God, you're cute. You're so little, Ned. But yeah, you're saying they took away everything that made him scary in the first
which
place.
is like the eyes and like how angry and fucking, even when he's laughing, when he's killing people, like that's so terrifying.
Yeah, he had a lot of expression.
Yeah, but they took that all away to like
make him
be
more
like,
realistic.
oh, he's like creepy, but it's like, yeah, if like you were sitting next to him on the bus, you'd be like, oh shit.
Don't look at him, don't be rude.
But like,
the thing is I feel like they made him look more like a realistic burn victim.
Yeah.
Which I get the idea of. This fence is creepy as fuck.
It looks like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, it does. Oh, there's another rabbit right there.
Whoa.
This is a really cool fence. But yeah, I feel like they try to make him look more realistic, which is like, I can kind of get the sentiment, but it's like,
yeah, they should have just ran
burn
more
victims
testing.
are just sad.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
He looked like my mom's uncle was a burn victim.
Well, I can't imagine anything more terrible.
Yeah, he got into a car accident and was like trapped by the seatbelt, I guess.
Oof.
And so he got a little burned up. And like that's what the new Freddy Krueger reminded me. I was like, oh, it just looks like Uncle Al.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's
like, that's not scary.
It sounds horrible to say because it's like I've seen burn victims or like had to serve them or something.
Yeah.
I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings and we had a regular who was, he was a burn victim and it was on his face. And I felt horrible for him because it's like kids would be like afraid of him.
Sure.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not the kind of fear of like the boogeyman. It's the kind of fear of like this person looks different.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not something I feel like they should be peddling as like a horror.
I agree.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of different reasons why. But anyway, I also saw the commercial for it when it came out. And they had like kids in like chat rooms talking about Freddy. And I was like, no, I just don't think I can do it.
They did one thing right, which was like make him more sinister towards children, which I think escalates,
the fear.
Yeah, all like the right emotion you're supposed to have for him, which is like disgust, but also like, holy shit, this guy's fucking scary.
Yeah, that is something that I never really thought about, but in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, this whole podcast is now turning into an analysis of Nightmare on Elm Street, which is fine. But I never really thought about that. In the original, they said that, the parents in the town had to murder Freddy Krueger because he would kill all the little kids.
Yep.
But then when he comes back and haunts nightmares, he's not killing little kids. He's like attacking high school age
sex-crazed
teenagers, which is just like a trend in every horror movie.
Right.
But it doesn't follow his story,
Did you hear that?
Was it walking?
Did sound like steps.
Yeah, I heard that too, which is something people hear here.
Oh boy.
It's Freddy. Bring him out.
Dude, if there's a Freddy and Tilly movie that comes out, they're just
Freddy versus Tilly. No, Tilly would definitely escort Freddy out of her little hut. No questions.
Yeah, she would.
Out of her dream.
And he'd be scared as shit.
Be like, this bitch is crazy.
Freddy finally meets his match.
Tilly.
This summer.
And she just has like a stern glare and he's like, fuck.
Yeah, we could really get like sad Freddy. Like Freddy as a kid not getting his Christmas presents because Tilly fucking...
Backstory to Freddy.
Yeah, origin story.
Yes, origin story. Freddy. That's definitely where Tilly comes in.
Oh man.
All his presents are stolen. Fuck. So he gets jealous of all the kids in his school that get presents, which makes him hate children.
Oh my God.
It's like...
It's all Tilly's fault.
It makes me think of like the origin story for the Grinch in the Jim Carrey Grinch movie, when he's just sitting there all like pissed off, a little kid Grinch.
Yeah.
You picture a little kid Freddy. But the thing is a little kid Freddy would just be a little boy. He wouldn't be like burned.
Right.
More rabbits.
But you would get to see why he's so messed up.
Are those rabbits or are those just rocks?
Oh, those are rocks.
No. It's kind of hard to say why this place is so haunted. It doesn't, it's definitely creepy at night.
Yeah. What's the most haunted place you've been to?
We're actually doing the Queen Mary later this week.
Oh, snap.
The most haunted place it's hard to say because it's like, how do you define most haunted? Like,
any place where like a door slammed or?
Okay, so I've had 3 paranormal things happen on the show so far. One, probably to me the creepiest one, which I wasn't freaked out when it happened. I was actually like thrilled about it. Was I was in there's like these tunnels that run underground in Portland called the Shanghai Tunnels. And I was in a part of those Shanghai Tunnels with a comedian, and it was underneath a bar that she worked at.
Uh-huh.
And we found this like creepy door, and we walked up to it, and you couldn't really catch it on the recording, which kind of sucks, but both of us heard growling behind the door, only it sounded like a human, like a dude, growling like an animal.
Oh boy.
It didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like a person making a growling sound, right?
Yep.
So I totally thought, oh, they're fucking with me. Like, that's someone from the bar. Like, they're just gonna jump out at me or something. And I opened the door and nobody was in there. So that was really weird. Especially because I heard it, and then Shannon was like, she made a comment about it where she was like, it sounds like that guy from the Goonies in there.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that growling sound. And then, yeah, nobody was in there. That was really weird.
If you just opened it up and there was just a guy in there that was just like, hey, you guys.
You're like, oh my God. Not that one. It didn't sound like that kid from the Goonies. That'd be super funny. No. So that was kind of creepy. And then another time, I was in a cemetery in Newport, Michigan. And me and the comic were just like this, like we were walking out of the cemetery and just talking. And then we both smelled toast, like burning toast. And I was like, are we both having a stroke right now? Like, this is really weird. And we were just both kind of, at first we were joking about it, but then we were like, no, that's like pungent. Like, that's really strong.
Right.
And then as we were talking about it, the smell just completely went away. And that was very bizarre. Yeah.
There was one, the only actual ghost thing I actually believe that happened in my life was I was living in Quincy at the time with my mom, and we were living in an apartment.
Quincy? Where's that?
Quincy, Mass. It's even closer to Boston.
Mass.
It's like 6 miles outside of Boston. Well, actually, it's the first town south of like Dorchester anyway.
Like, now I'm a little hot.
Yeah. And there was like a storage room next to my room, like my bedroom. And like when I'd be in the like the TV room that's like right outside of both of those doors, I'd be playing like Toy Story on Sega Genesis, listening to the Weezer Blue album, just like killing it.
You're really setting the scene.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And that door would just like creak open, just, and then just bam, just slam. And it would do it like all the time, but it would only happen when I was in the room. Like, I would never hear it like going
Slamming
back and
when you were
forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always when I was in there, like someone was peeking out and then just like slamming it.
And how frequently would you hear it?
It would be like weekly for sure.
Yeah.
And we found out that a woman actually died in that room. So I was like,
how did you find out it was in that room?
my mom told me.
Oh, but how
Unless
did
she
know?
was lying.
Yeah.
I think you have to disclose anything like that to people. So I was telling her like the door was open and stuff, and unless she just totally made up that story to fuck with me.
Yeah. No, I think you do have to disclose if someone died in a house. I think. But I don't really know.
And I think
to know the actual
neighbors told us or something, like they were like.
That's what I hear all the time.
Yeah.
Because I do, so I do mini-sodes on this show where people call in and tell their ghost stories.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I had one that I recorded, I think like 2 weeks ago, that this lady was like, we lived in this horribly haunted house for like 12 years. And she was the adult in the situation. She had kids and everything. Oof. So she couldn't move out for a long time. And then when she finally moved out and like someone finally bought the house, she said that the new owners contacted her and were like, have you ever had anything weird happen in this house? And she was like, yeah, I have. And the lady was like, well, like, I don't feel comfortable being here. And the girl who sold it was like,
sorry.
That sucks. Yeah, like, we're finally rid of it, so, like, good luck.
That is crazy.
But yeah, because then, like, for some reason I always thought growing up, like, oh, real estate agents have to tell you if a place is haunted. But then it's like, no, they don't. Because how do you even prove that a place is haunted?
Yeah. And even if someone told me, oh, this house is haunted, I'd be like, all right, shut up.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I'm going to buy the house. Yeah.
Yeah. But to actually have to tell someone if someone died in the house, that I'm not sure of. I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Because I know we knew at one of our houses growing up that a guy named Mr. Anderson had died at the kitchen table. So anytime the wind like shut the door or something, my mom would be like, oh, that's Mr. Anderson.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think he just had a heart attack or something, but.
And just died at the table.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah. But I'm more interested about this lady that died in your room.
The room next to mine.
The room next to your room.
Yeah.
But it's like, how'd she die?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
These are the questions that I would ask for sure.
But she was still hanging out.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned,
clearly.
but that's like literally the only thing I've ever had happen that I was like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
Totally weird.
I saw a ghost at the end of my bed when I was in like 3rd grade.
Oh my God.
This woman that was like staring at me. And I didn't feel like threatened by her at all. Like I was kind of just recognizing what was happening. Because I was like waking up and I was like, okay, there's a person there. She's looking right at me, like right in my eyes.
Jesus.
But it wasn't like, it felt like protective. Like it didn't feel bad.
Protective staring into your eyes.
Yeah, like just standing there. And then I kind of like, once I finally like had this feeling of like, well, maybe I should like get out of bed, but I don't want to like offend her. So I just like kept looking at her.
Yeah.
And then I was like kind of like gently like moving my foot off the bed to be kind of like, we're cool, but I'm just gonna kind of thirsty. Like just kind of like, and right when my foot hit the floor, fear like hit me. Like adrenaline like ran through my body. And for some reason, that's when I was like scared.
Holy shit.
And maybe it was the sense of like her being offended that I'm trying to leave, or maybe it was like, maybe she felt fear and I felt that fear from her being like, oh, that girl realizes I'm here, or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, damn.
But that was really weird. And then in that same house, I was having a sleepover in the basement. I've told this story on the podcast so many times that I'll just like cut all this out. But I was having a sleepover in the basement with my friend Ashley, and we were down there and we were just talking, like, you know, whatever, probably about boys. And I had this feeling that there's a man standing behind her, but I was looking at her. I didn't see anyone. There was nothing. She was like sitting up on a desk.
Yeah.
And she just kept talking and I just ignored it. And then she goes, I feel like there's like a man standing behind me. And I just immediately was like, let's just like go upstairs. Like, it's fine. And once we got up there, I was like, I don't want to freak you out, but I felt that before you said that. And then I don't think she believed me. I think she was like, that's bullshit. But it was really weird.
Jeez.
So those are the only two, outside of doing this show, ghost stories that I've had.
My Nana said the place that my mom lives in now, it's a 2-family, so she was living downstairs when she was still alive. And maybe like a year or 2 before she died, she was saying like...
Your Nana?
Yeah, she was saying like, oh, I just saw, you know, like 4 or 5 ghosts in my kitchen. And I was like, what?
Did she die of dementia?
No.
Oh.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, you know, there were like 4 or 5 people. Like, it wasn't scary. They were just like black figures. Like, she was pretty much saying they were like just beings. And I was like, they didn't scare you? She's like, no, they were like having fun and dancing and stuff. So they were totally cool. I was like, what?
Did she have Parkinson's or Lewy body's disease?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. That's because that's one of the symptoms of Lewy body's disease.
Oh, really?
Is seeing like creatures.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes like animals, sometimes children.
Yeah.
Or that's like one of the common, so I used to work in the neuropathology labs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well no, it's actually the presence of Lewy bodies in the brain, which is like a, whatever.
Sure.
So, yeah. No, Lewy bodies are present in Parkinson's too.
Oh, damn.
But they don't know, I know there's like a difference between Parkinson's and Lewy bodies disease. Lewy bodies is basically Parkinson's with dementia.
Gotcha.
So there's different, but Lewy bodies has like a really high rate of deterioration. So it's like the second you have it, it's like you've got like a month or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it can be really, but yeah, I used to work in the neuropathology lab at OHC. I used to be pre-medicine.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
that's like what I'm interested in is neuroscience.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the symptoms of Lewy bodies disease.
Damn.
So for a second I was like, well, maybe she had fucking Lewy bodies, like, whatever. But she
She was
didn't.
still around for like 2 or 3 years after that, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was colon cancer that got it, so.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't anything neurological.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I always think that's, I mean, and obviously you don't have to have dementia to see spirits, but if there's an explanation,
That's
then,
gonna be a good quote for like Instagram.
yeah. Put that on a shirt. Yeah. You don't have to have dementia to see spirits. All inclusive, laughing in the dark.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Or there's like temporal lobe epilepsy is another explanation for paranormal.
Oh, really?
But it's like a kind of seizure that's in your temporal lobe. So basically, people experience like God talking to them or seeing spirits, seeing lights, like
Oh my God.
feeling an out of body experience, like all of that, and it's a seizure.
Wow.
So
there are cult leaders out there that just have temporal lobe seizures.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they have all kinds of neurological shit going on. I love the stories with cults.
Oh yeah.
Those are the fun ones.
Yep.
Yeah, actually,
shit.
you should listen to in season 1. I did an episode at the Devil's Gate Dam in Pasadena.
Oh, sweet.
That's all about a cult. It's a sex cult.
Oh,
it's a
damn.
black magic sex cult.
Whoa, twofer.
Yes, that one you should listen to.
Absolutely.
With the guy who started Scientology.
Oh my God, L. Ron Hubbard?
Yes,
Yeah,
Ron Hubbard.
that guy's like still, his word's good as gold out here. Makes no sense.
Really?
Yeah, the Scientology building is still down in Los Feliz. And they still have people like captive in there that get the shit beat out of them and stuff. And they're still a tax-free organization.
They get the shit beat out of them?
Yeah, you ever see Going Clear?
No.
Oh, you have to see the documentaries about Scientology because it is crazy.
I think I've watched a couple documentaries about Scientology, and I didn't see anything about people getting beat up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
they
just
have
saw that
people
you have to
captive.
like pay to like get to new levels.
Oh
and
yeah, you do
whatever.
that.
It's like
But
a
they
pyramid
also,
scheme.
like have like modern slavery that just they put people to work and like don't give them any money. They just like keep them chained up and stuff in there.
Keep them chained up?
Oh yeah, that place will be haunted soon. It's haunted now. That's like with living, walking demons.
Oh my God.
In the form of people.
And you can't walk in there if you're not a Scientologist,
No.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no. You walk in there, you're gonna end up leaving in a suit because they all wear the same suits and stuff. It's like its own little city there. It's really creepy.
Have you been there on the outside?
They're probably
of it?
listening to us right now and about to roll up saying, "Stop talking shit."
It'd be so crazy.
Yeah.
But really good footage for the podcast.
That's true.
You're like, oh yeah, we were recording, we're not wearing. That's what I love about these mics is you can't see them.
Oh, that's
It
true.
doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't look like we're recording.
Oh snap! Except for those guys that were doing drugs.
Yeah.
And you were saying, "What are you doing?"
Kind of weird that if that was a drug deal, which it seemed like it was, that they were just probably passing around a joint or something. I guess
Yeah, maybe
it's
I'm just
legal
hanging out.
here,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's not a big deal
Because for
anymore.
a second, I wouldn't say like standing on top of a play structure with lights all around you. It's probably the best spot to
Not
be
the best
like.
hideout. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess if it's just weed, then that's maybe just where they wanted to stand. I guess.
You just do it on the corner now. Lots of weird things happening around here.
Lots of bunnies.
Bunnies everywhere. So we got to see your dad. My dad has yet to show up.
Well, we've been talking about Freddie all night, so maybe that is your dad.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Freddie and Tilly, who I haven't thought about in years.
Tilly.
So I think I'm gonna write a script about Tilly now.
You have to.
Yeah.
You do TV writing, right? Mm-hmm. What kind of writing do you do?
So I've always done joke writing. I've written for MTV. I wrote and produced a game show out here called Funny You Should Ask, which I wrote jokes for like Louis Anderson, John Lovitz,
Oh, awesome.
Bill Bellamy, Howie Mandel, Caroline Rhea, Tiffany Haddish, like Gabriel Iglesias, a million people that were so cool to work with. But my background is stand-up, so I've done stand-up for 13 years. And what I'm going into now, I just finished the TV writing program at UCLA.
Oh, nice.
And so I wrote a couple pilots that are now getting seen by
Oh, yeah,
a few
it's
agency
pilot
managers
season.
and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got some things in the works, which is great. But I can't talk about anything until it's official. But
Yeah.
what I'm going into now is more like super dark, not like super dark, but like darker 1 hour like dramedies, I guess.
Cool.
So,
Interesting, like a dark comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. I can't wait to see what you make.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. See. Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks so much for joining Kyle and I on our visit to DeForest Park. Be sure to check out Kyle's Instagram at Kyle Ploof. That's at KYLEPLOOF. While you're at it, find us on Instagram too at Lit Dark Podcast, or check out our website at litdarkpodcast.com. Special thanks for this episode goes to my producer, Randall Lawrence and Cranival Studios, Jonathan Cooper, my graphic designer, Sara Schneider, my manager, and of course, all of you for listening. As always, thank you so much for being a part of this show.
Sources used for episode 2 of Laughing in the Dark include deforestpark.org, backpackverse.com, eventbrite.com, yelp.com, reddit.com, and shadowlands.net.
Laughing in the Dark is brought to you in part by Heck Yeah Studio. Heck Yeah Studio is a creative effort working with people to create meaningful things. At Heck Yeah Studio, they work with clients to turn their ideas or existing brands into real or better versions. Heck Yeah Studio is the place to go for custom illustration for a full range of branding services, like killer logos, great colors and typography, and fun illustrations for pins, signs, prints, shirts, vehicles, posters, or anything you can imagine. At Heck Yeah Studio, they work with love. Their dream client is someone who is passionate about what they do. At Laughing in the Dark, Heck Yeah Studio has designed our logo, all of our merch, and any posters or stickers that we have. I am so proud and lucky to work with such an awesome company, and I could not recommend them higher.
Cranival Studios.